Okay, welcome guys to the first Climbo Pros session. In total, I think we've got about 15 members in different parts of the world, hence why we're going to record these sessions. And the reason I did it, I have so many people message me privately in school every day for help. It was just dragging my time down. And I like helping people, I don't mind it, but I'm sitting there going, I'm starting to just get bogged down with helping people, who all the stuff's already in school or it's in the university, and some people are just lazy. And
Yeah.
and I started this because I knew the community sort of felt a bit abandoned from all the Zooms we did last year to next to zero this year. So I thought, well, I thought about it, I had a chat to the wife about it. So if we made something generally, affordable without being stupid, that we can reconnect the people who really want to grow their business, whether that be Dropsash or Climbo, because we are going to cover both here. And we'll reconnect and show you what I've done that works and what I'm doing that's working, and share ideas within the community here, and just keep it sort of away from the school environment because that's getting a bit negative and a bit nasty in there. So today, what we're going to share with you is what I've been doing with Facebook. So I did Facebook ads years ago when some of you would have heard me talk about a Wi-Fi product I used to sell. We call that quick Wi-Fi, and basically it's a Wi-Fi router we plugged into restaurants, bars, and that collected data and automated some things. So it would track visits. So if there's a third visitor, send them a Google review request, things like that. Our partners in Canada, it was a white label product also, but our partners in Canada after COVID just decided to up the prices on everything.
Hmm.
Like we were paying, I think I was paying 297 a month for unlimited locations, US, and unlimited routers. I'd pay for the routers individually, and then or access points. And then he wanted to charge that plus 11 US per access point per month.
Oh, wow.
I had one client with 22 access points. And I was charging him 199 a month, right? So the cost to me was going to exceed what I was charging him just for that one client.
Oh, wow.
So I rang on my clients and said, hey guys, we're shifting out of space because of this reason. Here's some great people that do what I do. If you want to continue with it, that's what I suggest. But we're moving into reputation. And a couple of those clients came across with this as well. Um, so yeah, when I was doing that, so I get back to it, I was doing Facebook ads, and my cost was about 8 to 10, $12 a lead. And I was okay with that, but then it blew out to $80 a lead. And as we know, a lead isn't a conversion, it's not a sale, it's just a lead. So I think my conversion cost was about 260. And I'm charging 199 a month, and I'm spending way more than that on Google, on Facebook ads. So I just stopped and I went back to the old school methods that I've done ever since I've been in reputation, which is face-to-face sales, flyer drops, things like that. So, and then I stumbled across 2 weeks ago a local guy who helps more tradespeople dominate Facebook ads. And I went, well, if you can help tradespeople, you can probably help me. And he had a little course that was 27 bucks with an upsell and upsell. So I did his course, and he's a guy here locally, John. He's brilliant, and he does a little one-on-one session with you, and then a debrief. And I said, well, okay, let me do your course. So I did his course. It took me a day and a bit to do the whole course, and I learned a lot about just dumbing Facebook right down. Came up with some creative, tested it. And I was running two ads at $5 a day. One was just an awareness campaign, just brand awareness, and the other one was leads, like a lead form. So I'm going to show you, I'll bring up my Facebook ads account and we'll show you that. Actually, let me just stop that and bring the right screen up. Do this first. That one there. Okay. Where's my Zoom gone? There we go. And we do this. Okay. So I was running a couple of ads before this one myself without, just trying to be a highly motivated idiot. So not knowing what I was doing. So this is my, I called it restaurant locals, but it wasn't targeted restaurants, it was everyone. So that's my reach that's been about 10 days. You can see, hide that there. I spent 37 bucks on that. We've reached about, 15,000 people. This one here, we spent 33 bucks. We've got 10 leads and our reach is way less, but our conversion and our cost per lead is $3.39. Now, what are we doing there? We're doing a Facebook ad goes to the lead form. The lead form then gets them a free ebook. Now, some of you may or may not have my ebook. I wrote an ebook dominating Google locally. I do have a white label version of it. You'll all get a copy of that in the portal. So they get the free ebook and it redirects them straight to a 10-minute webinar of just me showing my client Google locations, what we did for them, how we optimized, and what reviews and the result of what reviews have done for them. And the whole purpose is to book a call. So far I've had one call. I've got 3 coming up. And I think out of the 10 leads, one was shit, one was just a dud. Interestingly, we had 3 gutter protection people, which is like gutter helmet in America. I was in gutter guard for a long time, so they should be an easy conversion for me. So, yeah, I think out of the 10 leads we've got so far, that's been in a week. We'll convert at least 3 of them to paying clients. So it's a really good ad strategy. We can give you the copy. We can give you everything you need. We'll put that in the group. That's the ads we've done. And we'll do a deeper dive on that later too. I'll do a separate video on the ad setup. And Michael, you guys, did you do Facebook marketing ads and paid ads in your
Oh,
agency?
yeah, sure. Yeah, we do Facebook for clients too. So
So you'd have a better understanding of this than me. But what I found interesting was the hyper targeting. Because even when I jumped on the call yesterday with John, he was blown away by getting 10 leads for, it's such a small reach.
right, sure.
So, and the free ebook, it goes through a funnel. They get the ebook, they get an email with the ebook. Then they get a day later, they get a voicemail drop from me just saying, hey, congratulations on your ebook. Do me a favor, check your spam just in case, blah, 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 blah. Then they get a text going, hey, if you're too lazy to read the ebook, watch the 10-minute video here. Then
Okay.
it's hey, look, Nat, your competitors are optimizing, you're not. Book a call with Wayne, and it's just a sequence of that, and then a couple of case studies that we've got. I've got the white
Are you
lab.
using,
Sorry,
oh, I'm sorry.
no,
Are you
you go.
using high level for that?
I am. Yep,
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
yep. So yeah, yeah, using high level for that. Sorry. Um, yep. Someone's gonna ask something.
Well, I was going to ask is that what are you charging per month? I mean, so you're paying $3.99 or whatever. What are you paying? What do you charge per month per
I've,
when
I've
something
got
uses?
I've got 4 packages. I've got a hospitality pack, which is a low ball pack, and that's just there's 0 automations in the software.
Mhm.
Next to no text message and email credit. It's just the NFC tap cards and QR codes. And
Mhm.
that's $500 a year flat rate. We did that for restaurants because there's no cost to me apart from
Right.
the tap cards. Then we step into our automated packs, and they start at $199 a month and go to $399 a month.
Okay. Okay.
And they're
So
fully
your
automated.
ROI is pretty good. Your ROI is pretty good on if
Yeah,
you're getting 10 leads, you sell 50%, we'll say 20% of them, right? You're
yeah,
getting 2 out of that. 10, that's still
yeah,
$400 minimum
yeah.
per.
And
Yeah.
that's what I looked at because, and even with the meeting I had yesterday with John, who is my little coach for Facebook, I said, is it worth me increasing my spend? He goes, hold it for another week to 10 days at $5, see what happens. And he goes, I would up it to 10, no more than 15, and just see what
Right.
happens. See if
Yeah.
it does drive more leads or not. He goes, because as you would know, Michael, Facebook's fickle. Um, hang on one second. Yeah, Paul, what part of I'm on a Zoom did you not understand? Yeah, that's what the message said. I've got to go. I'll buzz you later. Oh, this guy's He's a local guy, local friend, but he's just painful. He always uses Facebook Messenger, and he's got my phone number, and he lives around the corner. It pisses me off. So sorry, that's being recorded. So that's all right. So yeah, so we've set it up. So I still love my cold calling and all that, but like today, it's like 1 degrees outside at the moment, Australian temperature. So that's I don't know what that is in US. What I say it was 42. I say that right.
Yeah, that's right.
About 49.
Yeah, so I don't really want to go out and cold call this morning. So I thought if I'd run some ads, it's running 24 hours a day with the webinar. And it's all designed for them just to book a one-on-one call with me. Because I know if I can get them on a call, my conversion rate once I'm on a call is really high. Because we demo the software, things like that. So the other thing I did, which I hadn't done for a very long time, and I don't know why I didn't do it, I had a free trial coming to an end, and it was a local restaurant, Indian restaurant, and they did okay. They didn't smash it, but they did okay, right? And we took them up 1 star rating. I think we got them 14 reviews or something like that. So it wasn't huge, but it's only a tiny restaurant. And so I did a screen recording of his results. So from the dashboard, and it's been okay. So let's have a look at how we've gone for the month. You started here with this many reviews. We've got you to that many reviews. That's a 30% increase to where you were because they didn't have a lot of reviews. We've managed to push up from a 4.2 to or 4.3 to a 4.4 star rating. If this trend keeps going over the next 3 months, you should be around about 4.6, 4.7. So now my question to you is, do you want to continue with the paid version of the software, or do you want to stop it and just reprogram the QR codes? I sent them that video link, and it was like literally a couple of minutes of stats. Back straight away, send me the link to pay. Because people are 3 things: they're visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, right? Which means touch, feel, see. So I can't do the touch, feel thing, but we did that with the tap cards when we were up there anyway, the coasters. But they love to see that visual result. Now, to give you another indication of one, when you all would have heard me bang on about setting up a client for success. Quick reviews. Let's log into here. And I'll share this screen quickly, actually, for you, so you can watch this back. Share. Because if you can't find your APIs in Climbo, this is how you do it. You put in your domain, say in my case, app.quickreviews.com.au /hash/API, and here's your APIs, just in case you can't find them, because they used to be public in here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So we go to clients. We go to this one here. This is a referral from this client here. So this client here referred this client. He's still on the free trial at the moment. So we look at his results so far, and we go analytics. Set him up the 19th of June. Actually, that's when we set his location up, but we got him live about a week later with tap cards. So you can see he's had 48 taps and 28 reviews.
So the tap cards, explain that to me, what you're doing with those, because I've heard of been referenced before, but I'm not too familiar.
So these are little, in this case, we gave him coasters, which are NFC, so near field contact.
Got it.
Coasters that stick down to the tables. And they've just got, I've got one here, Nick, a coaster. Hang on, give me a second, I'll show you one. The wife's getting one for me because she's brilliant. I'll just stop that share quickly so I can show you this. This is the white one. So it comes up like that. And they got a 3M sticker on the back. Stick them down. So they tap them. It takes them to the landing page. No different to scanning the QR code.
Oh, got it. Okay. All right.
So it reads the data the same as on here. So we know we've had 45 taps, and that's resulted in 28 public reviews, which is a pretty good conversion rate. It's 50 odd.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So, because in my pitch, I've always said to them, hey, look, guys, we'll get you up to 47% more reviews than you asking alone. And that's time and time again what our stats have revealed. So And that all that is the review link URL here. So all I do is I open up that, copy that, and program that into the NFC card. Now, if you haven't used the programming app on NFCs, it's called NFC Tools, available on Android and Apple. And that's that. I'll stop the share again so you can see this. That's this app here.
Hmm.
And all you do, you press, I want to write, you want to add a record, add a URL, copy paste the URL, and press OK, and then just press write. And that will, and then hold it to the thing, and that will program it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It literally takes me, I programmed up, now I set him up, he had 30 tables. I said, mate, I'm not giving you 30 of these for a free trial, but I'm going to give you like 12. He's like, yep, no, I understand that. That's fine. And he's getting some fantastic results. So imagine the results he get when he's got them on every table.
Right. Okay.
So when I say set your clients up for success, I set them up 90% of the time, or 99% of the time, as if they're already a paid client. So just I won't give them 100 of these, because I'll go, look, our package is 10 or 12. If you go ahead today, I'll give you a couple more. If you want more than that, you're going to have to pay for them. And they
Got it. Got
understand.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I always make sure we onboard and set them up as if they're already paid. So if they need to be automated with QuickBooks, for example, I'll set that up. If it's a temporary setup for automation, I'll set up a Google Sheet and have it as a shared sheet with them and say, all I need you to do at the end of every day, copy paste the name and email or name and phone number into this sheet. And that will
Okay.
automate the review request.
Got it.
Has anyone here done any automations yet?
Are you doing it through Zapier or doing it through Climbo?
I do some through Climbo. I've got a couple through Zapier because the connections aren't available elsewhere.
Right.
But I've got my own what's Climbo's back end? Alberto,
Okay.
which is Climbo's back end order. I've got my own my own lifetime license with Alberto. I bought that
Mm.
when they first started, and that's the back end automation of Climbo.
Got
So
it.
that way, if I've got a you would have heard me talk about Salty Shreds, the Shopify store.
Hmm.
They do hundreds of orders like a week. So I got them off because Climbo caps it out at 100 requests, I think, internally. When if it's external, I can make it unlimited. So, that client's been with me 4.5 years and they pay $299 a month every month.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
My retention, I've lost one client in the last 12 months. That hurt though. That was a big client. They were worth 800 a month. And that was only, they're a big corporate. They were just looking at their finances going, okay, well, what's working, what's not working. And it was working. And they had a new CEO come in and just said, oh, look, I think we'll spend our money elsewhere. But,
Yeah.
we'll work on getting them back. We might go back with drop SaaS for them. That could be better. But yeah, but I always set them up as if they're paid. So if we need to be automated, automate them. We can do a masterclass on automation as well of how to do that. So a good automation for anything with restaurants, if you want to upsell them, is you could have a QR code going to a Google form, the
Hmm.
Google form with a trigger going to Climbo, but also a trigger going to like MailerLite or MailChimp. So they can build up their data to do restaurant specials.
Right. Right. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what they'll have with excuse me, drop SaaS, because that's really.
Yeah, I can't see. I've done a little bit of a deep dive, and I can't see any automations there yet.
Yeah. I haven't done a deep dive at all, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I went into their help docs and had a look around there and did that. But I am going to organise a catch up with Tommaso probably next week.
Hmm.
Just say, mate, you guys need to at least do an update a week on drop SaaS within Climbo to say where it's at, when's the next rollout. Because at the moment they've released half a product.
Right. Yeah.
Because it doesn't have Apple Maps, it doesn't have two-way messaging. You can't reply to the reviews from there at the moment. So, has anyone had a good look into the back end of DropSas yet? Do you want
It's
me to?
kind of hard to put your business, and it's kind of hard to tie your business to it if it's kind of half baked, right? And you're trying to
Yeah.
run a business and you're trying to tie it to the product, and the product is not, it's just half baked.
Yep, exactly. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to jump into mine, and I'll share this. Give me a second. Just close that window. Go back home. So if we go to clients, we'll share this. So just so those who haven't had a good look in it yet. So a couple of bugbears of mine with it is you can't delete clients. The good thing is you can see not onboarded yet. You might have sent them the invite, but they're not in yet. So that's been paused. That was one of my demo accounts. So if I log into here, so that's me, log into my own as a customer. This is the back end. I'm still playing with my colors and stuff like that at the moment, so I haven't got them right. So this is the review request module. Here's your listing for your Google business page. So you can manage your business here. You can do updates, manage your hours, and put special hours. So for example, 4th of July, you could put, not open or open special hours. If you want to manage an update, just do add update. It's news, next. That's the location, next. Want to add a photo, and you go, yep, let's look at this one here. That's one of my Facebook ads. Put your description and then just press post with a link, all right? Very simple. Same with the socials. Add content, post, story or reel. So you go, I want to do a post, I want to do next. I want to do it to both Facebook and Insta. Next. Drop my photo in, do the post, press send. So that stuff all works seamlessly, all right? Then you got your settings here. Obviously, coming here, two-way messaging. And then there's your connected accounts. If they had multiple applications, they could do that, right? So how many locations they wanted. So as a basic software, it works well. The review request, send your request, name, phone number, add client permission, press go. That will send the review request. Here's your QR code for that. And this is the link. When they click it, it'll go to here. Do you want to continue with Google or send private feedback? So private feedback's no different to the current one. And then back is, then Google goes to here.
So it doesn't ask for the,
Star rating.
three stars and lower. It goes to a page.
Yep.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Well, I think they're doing that for the point of difference between the two softwares.
Yeah. Okay.
So that otherwise it's just Climbo 3.0.
So the question, I guess, for to you, is, since you've been doing this probably the most out of anybody, is that would you bother switching to DropSas then, and maybe just go all in on?
I'm not switching. I'm having it as a different offering.
Got it. Okay.
So I've got quick reviews. That's Climbo.
Okay.
I've got quick suite. That's DropSas.
Okay.
So quick suite will be $199, $299, $399 a month, but generally it'll be around that $199, I really think.
Right.
And that, because that's going to be, are you struggling to manage everything in one, you going to different socials and doing all that. So it's more of a management tool.
Right.
Than it is a review tool.
Got it.
That's going to be my key point of difference for that.
Yeah, we'd have difficulty selling that here, I think. I think I think Climbo is something. Yeah.
Climbo for us, it works, Michael. I love it. It works. It's strong. It doesn't need. Could it do more things? Yes. Should it do more? Probably not.
Okay.
Because I look at my overall customers. They log in. They'll use it to reply with reviews and occasionally do a social share.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they're doing. Right. And you'll find business owners are really busy. So to do more than that, and this is where I get my upsells. If they want to pay $399 a month, I'll get admin access to their Google profile, and I'll post once or twice a month in their content for them.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't take me long. I've in my Go High level, I connect their accounts in Go High level, their Google accounts, and I just schedule posts out. I'll sit there on a Sunday afternoon having a beer and go, there's your 4 posts for the month,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
using AI to do it.
Yeah, we're using my marquee to do that right now. So
Yeah. So, but so does that give you more clarification, Michael, of the 2 different products?
it does. It actually kind of it takes me back a little bit. Is maybe I shouldn't be looking at drop SaaS at all. Then maybe just going back to Climbo, because I think Climbo is a better sell for us.
Yeah, and for what you're doing with SEO and local SEO, yeah, Climbo 100. And I've got so many case studies that we can share with you guys, which I will, and I'll white label. I've got to update them, but I'll update them and make sure they're white labeled. And you can use them and go, this is our sister company in Australia. This is one of his clients, or this is a client of ours in Australia.
Right. 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 Sure.
One is Luke, our concreter. We've spoken about Luke in a lot of Zooms. So we literally took Luke from 44 reviews. Now he was sending his link out after every job just via text straight to Google.
Hmm.
And in 3 years, 4 years of doing that, he successfully got 4 reviews. We grabbed his old data, and old data, as we know, never really works that well. We took him from 4 to 10. Then we just connected his accounting software, and now he's at nearly 70.
Wow.
Right now, Luke was spending $50 a day on Google Ads, and his phone wasn't really ringing. Not the way he wanted it anyway, right?
Yeah.
In a couple of different SEO agencies, but Michael, as you know, it's a competitive space and there's lots of sharks out there in that market. And there's
Oh,
some
yeah.
genuine, really good people.
Yeah, and it's not working anymore anyway, really.
No.
It's
So we turned his ads off, optimized his profile, posting there once or twice a month, and we drove reviews and responded to reviews. His average calls now is 40 calls a month.
oh wow.
For a concreter,
That's a lot.
that's
That is a
real.
lot.
And I've never met Luke face to face. We've done FaceTimes and calls, and he lives down the Gold Coast, so we still have yet to catch up. But he just rings occasionally, just ring me and go, "Oh, dude, can you do a quick tweak to my website?" I'm like, "Yeah, mate, not a problem. Right, I got access to his website." He goes, "I just want to, add this header." I'm like, "Yeah, no drama." And look, it takes, as you know, Michael, a couple of minutes to do. So I'm like, "Dude,
Yeah.
that's fine." And he's always let me know if I need to pay you more money. So he started at $199 a month. He goes, "How can I pay you more money?" I said, "Well, I can post in your profiles another $100 a month." He's like, "Done. Just change the invoice."
So I have a couple questions
Yep.
regarding Climbo versus Drop SaaS. And I'm glad Michael's here because apparently he understands SEO and I don't. Does having reviews on multiple review sites help your SEO
Yes.
Yes.
as opposed to just Google?
Yes.
Yes,
It's
it does.
Yeah,
touch.
even more so now.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Now, Michael, you'd probably agree with me on this. If your messaging is unison across all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Google, TripAdvisor, all that, if your messaging and your about us and all that is fairly much on point, that's another key point to dominate.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Social media is a good way to get your SEO up.
Yeah, because
Correct.
especially now,
Okay.
it's another touch point. That's the last 2 weeks, I think, Michael, that's changed massively again.
Yeah, actually it did. And actually, I've taken all my clients off the blogs
Yep.
completely
Yep.
because
Blogs are dead.
totally dead. And it's because right now they're just being scraped and given as Google information. And you're lucky if they link to you.
Yep.
So
So,
I have 2 clients doing blogs, and they just because they enjoy doing it, but they do it. I don't do it anymore.
and
What about citations and directories?
local citations are still strong.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
directories,
Yeah.
because again, they all link back to your business, if that makes sense, where blogs were that power play for many, many years. Now, micro blogs, which is Facebook posts, TikTok, video, Instagram, and also you're posting into your Google profile, Google reward that, especially if you're giving them direct content, as in you're posting into Google and things like that. They love that. And
We're doing a lot with Reddit as well.
yeah, Reddit's starting to get up there now too, which is again
Yeah.
like a micro blog.
It is. No, it's fantastic. You can SEO almost immediately by doing subreddits,
Mm.
which is really, really nice.
So, but I found I try to stay in that local search space, and because as you'd know, Michael, more than anybody, it can get overwhelming for a customer to understand everything.
Yeah, that's true.
So I tell them, if you're posting into Facebook, why aren't you posting into Google? And they're like, oh, well, that makes sense. I didn't know how to.
Yeah. Well, we use My Marquee, which does both at the same time.
Yep,
Using AI. I mean, there's a bunch of different software for that, but that's what we're using because we did a lifetime deal with
yep,
AppSumo, a couple of
yep.
years ago. One question for you, Wayne, is that I mean, do you have or do you know of a good training videos for Climbo from very beginning to very end of it? Because I haven't really, to be honest with you,
In what aspect? In your
well, I'm just setting it up, and
agency level or client level?
I think both actually.
Yeah,
Agency for me only because I did initial setup and then stuff started to break and because I guess they made some changes, fine. And of course I didn't keep up with it and it wasn't a big enough part of our business that I just kind of just let it go to the wayside. But as you've also determined, it's to me, I'd much rather have something that's kind of on autopilot, like what you're doing. Have a guy go to all the restaurants because we're in a big restaurant area as well, and we're in Naples, Florida, and probably
yep,
the highest per capita income in the country in the U.S. So it's very easy for us to get, there's restaurants constantly going in and out of business, and so we see a market. And I think now that we are talking a little bit, I'm starting to think that, it's really not DropSas that I want in the first place. I really, really do want Climbo. But then now I have to go back and relearn everything. And I was wondering whether or not there's anything that I could look at. Do you, that you
There's
know
a
about?
whole lot of my videos in there about setting your clients up for success in the
Uh-huh.
university. Um, there's a whole lot there. I'm happy to do a couple of little videos from my end and put them into the community, into our community.
That'd be great.
And
Yeah, I need that as well.
yep, no,
So
that's
do
I'm in the same
I.
predicament as Michael.
yeah,
Me too.
yeah. So, and this is part of the reason why I got a bit of pushback from some people about charging for these Zooms. I mean, well, in fairness, it's my
I don't
freaking,
mind.
yeah.
I don't
I
mind
know
either.
that's
Yeah,
why you're all here.
I definitely don't mind.
But I went, well, that's why, I'm just going to put everything I can into this group and give you guys value and answer your questions and work with you guys on what you need.
Well, I think what would be helpful is if in our community that if you could put in if you know that there's already videos that exist, rather
Yeah.
than redo them, just link to them and we'll
A couple of them I'll need to redo because the dashboard's
uh,
changed.
sure.
So, and some little things have changed. And I've learnt more too.
Yeah, great.
So, yeah, but then again, the videos, they're just me with a Loom screen sharing, so they don't take too long to do. And I try to keep all my videos under 10 minutes because otherwise you'll get bored of hearing my voice. So we try to keep them in micro little segments. But yeah, look, as a platform though, I've had, bar the API thing that happened a couple of months ago with the Google API, I've had no issues with the platform. You know,
Good.
every
Yeah,
feedback I
same.
get when people are pinging me all the time, it's a user issue. It's never a software issue. It's always an end user issue. Like one guy messaged me the other week going, with the reply with AI, if you put their name in, it grabs their whole name off Google. Why can't you just grab their first name? I went, because it's grabbing it from Google, their Google account. You
Right.
know, my Google account, one is Wayne Connell, that's my personal one. The other one is Quick Reviews. So if I do a review as Quick Reviews, it'll come up as Quick Reviews. And I'm like, dude, like seriously, it's not that big a deal. You can jump in manually and type thanks Raymond rather than Raymond Farrell. Like, it's not that hard. It's
Yep.
but all those things that people are banging on about in the community, most of it is roadmap stuff that was never planned. They were requests that had never been pushed to planning. The only thing I really wanted Climbo to do was to have the post to Google function to manage your profile a little bit better. I think that would have been really well suited in Climbo.
I agree. That would have been awesome.
but that's the only feature I really wanted in there. So we'll see what Time does with DropSAS. I know they're charging Climbo now. If they're doing license lifetimes at all, it's stupid money. They are doing annuals, and I think they will, if they keep promoting Climbo, which they are, that will go just to a monthly subscription for people who don't have the lifetime license. And DropSAS for us internal members, it's whatever it is, it's 2 or 3%. So it's
Yeah.
it's not stupid. We're not paying like with our old company that Paddy and I were involved with, called Wombot in the early days, and that changed to Reddit Reviews. We we're paying $200 a month for up to 50 locations, and then would pay $15 a month per location above that.
Yeah.
It was actually no, $15 a month. It was $199 a month plus 15 for every location that was active. And then if you went over 50, you paid another 200. So it was, and that platform's now nearly dead in the water because private equity got in, screwed the original owner out of his role, and started to make all these changes, added loyalty cards and all this stuff in the back end that, again, when I was with Wombat, I looked at my logins. Next to zero of my clients ever logged in because it just worked. As a review gaining platform, it just worked. Right? Then they started adding too much. And now their last reseller, I think, reached out to me this morning going, "Hey, bro, what are you doing?" So, but yeah, for you, Michael, in your lane, I would highly recommend Climbo over DropSAS at the moment. Keep DropSAS in your back pocket
Yeah.
for those clients who go, "Oh, yeah, we're looking for something we can manage everything," and you go, "Yeah, we can give you this platform which is ours for, 200 a month or 300 a month or whatever you might want to charge for it." I like that.
Well,
The one thing I do like
most
with,
oh, go
sorry,
ahead. Sorry.
the one thing I do like, which is coming with DropSAS, and I'll test it when it comes, is the two-way broadcasting. So you can two-way live message, whether it be Facebook chat, Instagram chat, WhatsApp, but also do text broadcast and email broadcasting. So for your hospitality and things like that who want to run specials, that's a great platform for that.
Okay.
So
What platform?
DropSAS but again, yet to be seen
Right.
how that works. That's from my understanding of what's going to happen. And again, as they roll out new developments in DropSAS for our group here, I'll do recordings of that. This is how it's doing, this is how it's working. Yes, it's good. No, it's shit. And I'm brutally honest with the boys at Climbo though. So, but I'll keep testing it and see how we go.
Right. Right.
But I'm not going to start selling it till at least the two-way messaging is up and running. Because at the moment you can't even reply to a review in there. So if
that makes sense.
go back to DropSAS, I think that's DropSAS. Give me a second here. No, that's that one here. Move that window out of the way. So if I go back, this one here. So if I go here, you haven't got not replied. I had a private one in there I did the other day. Actually, I'll just do that. We'll do that quickly. New request. We'll do this to me, and we'll show you this. 6142605. Done. Next. SMS. Next. Okay. So this is where you can. This is new. This wasn't here before. So that's the base one. I can edit that message, but I'll send that as it is. So that didn't come up last time I did this.
Oh well.
So that's new, which is good. So there's that one there. I should get that message now. Yep. And that comes up with, let me just stop that share here. Comes up with that, like that. It comes from My Local Biz. So My Local Biz is a text sender. And it'll come up like that. So now I'll hit that button there and I'll do a private feedback. Goes app.quicksuite.com.au. It's my Wi-Fi playing up. Give me a sec. Let that load. Let that load, and we'll come back to that. But come on, turn the Wi-Fi off, maybe. Go. Come on, load your freaking thing. It's very slow. Okay. I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll do a video of it later. Otherwise, we're just dragging out time for no reason. But basically, when I went, I had like private feedback, which I was doing a test to myself, and I couldn't reply because the two-way messaging is not working. So again, why even have the review request there if you can't respond? So that was just little bugbears I've got with Dropsest at the moment. One, you can't delete a client. You know, I don't mind the revenue share with them and all that at all. I'm fine with that. But yeah, a couple of little things I'm hesitant on until it gets rolled out in total. Any other questions about Climbo at the moment, though, guys? About the dashboard or stuff?
Is the university up to date though, as far as, because I know I looked a while ago and I was, because one of the complaints I had about Climbo was is that I had to buy essentially messaging through them or connect each individual client with a different
different
uh,
Twilio or Telenex, yeah.
Twilio or something like that. And of course, you know that how that goes. It would be very difficult. So I wanted an agency level Twilio, and then I just rebill them. I don't know if they've changed that or not.
Yeah, so you could have an agency level Twilio and then just have you could have one number if you wanted to essentially, and link that number to each one, and then you're assigning your credits effectively within
And that's all on the university, right? Is that all on the university? They
I
updated
believe
it?
I believe it is. When did you buy your license though?
Oh God, it's been 2 years. It was a
So
long time ago.
you should have the unlimited
I
licensing.
do.
Yeah,
Well, not the messaging. I don't. There was like 1,000 of minutes or something like that, or 1,000 messages, or I forgot what it was. So
yeah,
maybe it wasn't quite.
probably 10,000. If it's two
Oh,
years
maybe.
ago, it's probably 10,000.
Yeah.
And 10,000 is a lot of SMS.
Yeah, I should look to see what I thought it was only 1,000. So
It might
so
be.
yeah,
So I know mine's at 100,000 email and 10,000 SMS.
yeah.
And I
Okay.
do have the unlimited, but I haven't requested that. That was part of my initial license. I can just email and say, change it to the unlimited, and they will. But I've gotten, even with, because we don't do a lot of text here in Australia, the reason being we get a lot of scam and spam text.
Right.
So
Yeah.
people are very hesitant to click a link. And we find, most of our clients have great success with email.
Yeah. Yeah. We have the exact opposite here. So
Yeah. So, um, yeah,
at least we're
but still 10,000 SMS is a lot
yeah. Yeah.
when you think about it. So,
I'll look to see. It might be 10,000.
so you think about this, if you're a restaurant, they're mainly using QR codes and tap cards. They're not
Yeah. Oh,
using
that's
SMS.
right.
Right?
Right.
It's more your trade services and those sort of businesses that collect data. Any business that collects data, you can automate, and that's where your
Right.
text credits will go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's where I scale my packages too, Michael. I'll go, you get that many texts in package A, that many in package B, and unlimited in package C.
Right.
So it's not the functions and the features, it's how many clients are you seeing a month? Well, that you'll need this many texts. So that puts you on our platinum plan of $399 a month for unlimited.
Sure. Okay.
Does that make better sense?
No, it does. Actually, this is really helpful. I'm glad I got on this call.
Yeah, so that's how I've always scaled mine, is based on that. I've got one client, Tindercard, they've got 3 locations. They pay $200 a month per location. Been with me again, probably 4 years. They started with with Wombot, and then we went back to upgrade them to Climbo. I said, look, we've just done a massive revamp in our software. It's Quick Reviews 2.0. I just need to tweak a couple of things with the connections, and you're good to go. And they're like, wow, this is way better, right? And
Right.
they love it. And again, it hasn't missed a beat. Occasionally the Zapier connection on his has expired, the authorization. So I just quickly call them. I'm going to duck over in 10 minutes because I do it on their computer and
Right.
reauthorize it. I could do it via Teams or something like that, but I just prefer to do it face to face because they're literally 10 minutes away. But yeah,
My
Right.
he said to me on day one, he goes, "Oh, show me your plans." I said, "Look, right now with your current client base and your usage, you're at $199 a month. It caps out at $399." He goes, "Mate, I hope I get to $399 a month because it just means he's busier."
Hey guys, what's the best way for me to learn about automations? I mean, I need to learn everything automation, how to tie a CRM together with other softwares, including Climbo. I need to learn all that.
Yeah. So yeah, what you need to look at first is what's your trigger point going to be.
Okay.
So everything with an automation starts with the trigger. Is it an invoice updated and paid? Is it a new client added? Everything starts with the trigger and where's the trigger coming from? So if you map that out in your brain first, it's a workflow. Okay, so if someone joins my CRM, right, what happens? So it's
So
like
I did that. Oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
So it's like when
I
you
did do that. And oh,
so for example, when you guys paid to become Climbo Pros, you got an email receipt straight away. Then you got a welcome email. Then I manually added you to this group because it's a separate little thing. So, but I manually added you here to get the request to join the portal. That was the only manual thing I did, which is copy
Yeah.
paste your name and press invite.
so I
Patty,
asked ChatGPT how to do it. I asked ChatGPT and it said I needed a software called Mate for all the different things I want to tie
yeah,
together.
there's different ones. What I would suggest, Patty, is that because I we do automations constantly,
Okay.
and you're using Go High Level, correct?
I am not. I'm
Oh,
trying
you're
to
not
decide
using
which
Go High Level.
CRM I want. I'm trying to
Oh yeah.
tie a CRM to Brilliant Directories, and I also need a work management product. So I really want to use Agile because it's
Yeah.
the best overall for everything. But I think I'm going to have to use probably Go High Level to do
Oh,
the stuff I want to do and have a separate project management product. Although I know there's an
yes.
add-on for Go High Level.
So what I use is that I don't use Go High Level. I used to. In fact, I still have about a dozen or so Go High Level clients, and I'm rapidly moving off of this because I don't like their platform. But we use Fluent. It's attached
Fluent.
to the Fluent CRM, but it has a lot of those things you are talking about. Well, first of all, you can connect using Zapier, and if you're a novice at it, Zapier is going to be a lot easier for you than Make. Make is a little bit of a learning curve, a pretty
Okay.
big learning curve actually. So I would say you probably want to do Zapier, although Zapier is more expensive. If you want to do a cheaper version, there's one called Pabbly Connect. Out of
I
Paddly.
looked into that, but they never responded to me. I reached out to them and they never responded.
Is the one you're talking about, Michael? Is that called Fluent CRM?
Yes,
I'm on it
Fluent.
right now. Fluent
Yeah.
CRM.
Yeah, and it's WordPress based. So I mean, if you're not familiar with WordPress, then you probably Go High Level probably would be your best bet. But the reason why I like Fluent CRM is because they have a certain amount of workflow automation built in, and then you can also plug into something called go boy. Bit. It's called Bit something. Why am I not? I use it all the time. I can't even remember the stupid name. Anyway, but there's bit integrations. That's what it's called, and it's basically very very similar to it's basically a flowchart.
Yeah, I can
Now,
see it.
if you want something that's really really easy, uh, it isn't bad to use Go High Level because Go High Level, their workflow automation tool is pretty easy to use.
But they
Yeah.
don't have a project management piece of that, and I need a project management piece.
Well, it
So,
depends what you mean by project management, but yeah, then there's project.co, which as long as there's webhooks, you can connect them. Whereas, I mean, so there is project management within Fluent. Fluent has a project management thing. They have Kanban boards, they have all that stuff. But it depends on what you mean by project management, though.
okay,
So
that
the
sounds like that would work because this particular piece is for doing co-op advertising on large postcards. So it's multiple advertisers on coming together on a postcard that I'm sending out. And I need to be able to manage that and automate some of that with my other tools.
So what I would probably do is I'd probably have a Kanban board, a project management Kanban board with different stages, and you can actually then, when you move it from one stage to the other, that will trigger an automation within Go High Level, which is very, very easy to do. And by the way, if you need to go outside the Go High Level ecosphere, you use webhooks, and they have pretty good videos on how to do that.
Yeah, the webhooks with Go High Level are very easy.
Yeah, they are.
The webhooks across the board are pretty easy once you understand them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And you
exactly.
use, but the thing that I'm not getting is who charges me what for what, right? Like, what do
So,
I have to pay everybody?
well, Go High Level, for example, depending on what you're going on. Like we've got High Peak Pro, which is a mate of mine. He bought the white label Go High Level so he could sell the agency level.
Yeah.
So he sells it for like 140, so 97 US a month.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much all the bells and whistles. And if you look at if it's just like a pipeline stage management, you're looking at okay, that client's there, they've submitted the artwork, they've done this, they've done that. Go High Level would suit you because you're just moving them from stages of the workflow, and you can
And
automate those
Fluent
stages.
and Fluent would be as would
Yeah,
do that as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
Most
yeah,
CRMs, if you're running a pipeline type setup of going stage 1 to stage 10, and as you move them along, it can do automations and triggers.
yeah,
Most CRMs can do that now.
yeah.
So, yeah, and I've been using Go High Level for probably 6 years, and I like it. It probably does too much for what I really want,
Yeah.
but I set up this whole workflow with the ebook, with the landing page, with the webinar, with everything in an hour and a half.
Yeah. Go High Level is going to be the easiest for you, Patty. If you're really, it really is simple. I don't think you can't really do high design though, which is what we do and Go High Level. That's the reason why we switched out of it because we have very few people on CRMs and Go High, and so we use WordPress with everybody. But for you, you have this very specific need. I would just get the $99 version of Go High Level or 97 or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
and plus I know Go High Level pretty well, Patty, so you should be all right.
Yeah. It's actually, yeah, it's not that hard too. I think you pick it up. There's gobs of YouTube videos on how to do
Oh,
stuff.
yeah,
I've watched a lot of them. I had Go High Level for a short period of time. I bought a lifetime license from somebody, and
Uh,
then they took my money and went out of business. So
really.
it was hundreds of dollars. I mean, I was just like, okay. And then we get this notice saying, well, here you can switch over to high level. Well, okay, we just paid you so that we wouldn't have to pay every month, and now we have to go. And so I just at that point I was just like, I've had it. I'm done.
Well, then I would suggest if you're worried about the monthly bill, I would do WordPress, Fluent CRM, which is $99 a year, and they don't care how big your database is. And then Fluent has a bunch of different tools you could buy that plug in directly into them, and they work really really well together. And you could buy lifetime licenses of those if you need them. Like Fluent Cards is their Kanban version. But Go High Level really honestly super simple to use. And yeah, you're gonna pay $90. There's nobody who's gonna give a lifetime license anymore anyway.
no, not for
Well,
Go.
So
that wasn't the point. The point was that I had it for a while and I was trying to
yeah,
learn it. And then
yeah,
it was, okay, now go directly to high level. And that's just where I dropped it at that point.
Fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Okay.
get it.
So, guys, anything else we need to touch
Thanks,
on here?
guys.
Any other questions before we wind up? This one we've gone just on the hour now. I'm going to put this up in the group shortly, and then I will put I'll do a PDF version of the ad copy that I've done with the artwork and things like that, and you can sort of mimic or use them if you want to or don't want to. That's up to you. And I'll do a video of the ad build of how I did the ad for. And Michael, you'll be fine. You're okay. For the other ones who
Well,
aren't,
I'm interested in
yeah, I'd love your feedback on it too, Michael, to be honest. So, but so far it's been working really well, like lead wise. And I'll show you the workflow set up in the CRM. so you can understand that as well.
Could you
Awesome.
also,
Sounds
if
good.
possible,
Yep.
could you also, if possible, if you see some university links that you think are really good for learning Climbo, if you could just put them in there too. I mean, don't go out of your way too much, but
Yeah,
if
look,
you
most of that stuff's in my YouTube anyway, so I can get the link and
is
post it
it?
pretty easy.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah.
easy. I've always filmed them here, put them on my YouTube, and then given them to the university.
Yeah.
So
Oh, good. Maybe I just link to your YouTube. That'd probably be.
now, George, you got on a little bit late. Any questions you've got, George, at the moment? No.
No, just marketing. Just wanted to
Mark.
get some insights on how you were doing your marketing.
So my marketing at the moment, from day one, has been door to door, business to business, like face to face stuff. And my opening line is quite simple. It's in all my videos. It's, hey, look, is the boss or the business owner in? Yes, no, maybe. If they're in, can I grab them for up to 20 seconds, 30 seconds? They come out and say, hey, so my name's Wayne, your name is, and George, lovely to meet you. Look, I know you're flat out. I'm not going to hold or busy. I'm not going to hold you up for too long. Quick question though, George, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important are reviews to your business right now? If he says
10.
10, 7, 8, 9, or anything above
Yeah.
8, I'm like, fantastic, George. What I do is I work with business owners like you that value reviews, and we show you how we can get you up to 47% reviews, 47% more reviews without you doing anything different to what you're currently doing. See, if I could show you how to increase your reviews by 47%, would you be happy to have a look at that? Yeah.
And you do that in their face?
Yep.
Okay.
Quick, it's easy, it's concise. If they say no, I'm out the door.
How are you doing it if the owner's not there? Because a lot of times
Then I've got
absentee
a
owners.
then I've got a flyer that I leave them, which is very much increase your reviews by 47%. A couple of different versions of the flyer, depending on the industry. But yeah, basically I'll leave the flyer and say to the staff, can you make sure the boss gets this?
Yeah, we deal with restaurants, so
Yeah, I've got a restaurant flyer that focuses on the NFC, tap cards, and QR codes.
okay.
So when I'm with a restaurant, I literally have one of these with me and I'll tap it and go show that. So that's worked, that's come up, that's programmed. So get them to bring that up and that will go, yep, how's your experience with Patron coffee? And I show them that and walk them through the live demo.
Mm.
So I
And
show
so
them,
you set it up before you even go in there. You already set the card up already.
generally I'll have one generic set up.
Okay.
If I've got the time to set up directly for them, I will. If I'm going to do a demo, I always will set them up programmed to their business.
Got you. That's impressive when you do that, especially with their business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially when it's branded to them.
Mm.
And there's one restaurant locally I've been trying to get in touch with, but can't get in touch with them. So I programmed one of them up with my flyer and snuck it under their door while they were closed. And I can see they've already got 10 taps and so many reviews from it. So they're using it.
Got you. Got you.
And how I got one was an interesting one. It was a business down the Gold Coast, a cafe. Went in there and we got stands and all that. And the girl goes, "Oh, my boss would love this. Can you leave this with me?" I said, "Yeah, give me 5 or 10 minutes," and I programmed up a couple, a stand and a coaster. Left them there. We were down there actually on vacation, and I went back in with my wife and to have coffee. And I noticed one of the guys. I went, "Is that the boss?" And she says, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, just tell him, if I can grab a minute with him." He come over. He goes, "You're my review guy, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Mate, how much is all this?" And I said, "Well, it's $500 a year." He goes, "Okay, how do I pay for it?"
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
So you're giving everybody a free trial, like 2 weeks or what?
I still do free trials,
For how long?
depending on the business. Anything from 7 days to 30 days.
Mm.
Okay.
So, and that's why my retention and my conversion's so high.
What's the determining factor, whether it's 7 or 30 days?
Traffic flow, how many customers they see. So if
What
it's
would you do for a restaurant? What would you recommend for a restaurant?
2 weeks,
Okay.
7 to 10 days, thereabouts, up to 2 weeks.
Okay. What's your packages? What's your packages looking like for a restaurant?
They'll get a package of these with a QR code, a package of I call it the 10 combo pack. They get an NFC stand, some of these, and some QR codes, which are just on a little display, and access to the software for 12 months for $550 it is.
Mm.
And that I use that for quick cash flow. Simple as that. Yeah,
Got you.
it's a 7-minute sale with a 7-minute setup, and I'm done.
And they don't get any automations. It's just a QR code or a
Automations.
tap card.
Yep. Yeah,
So no Google Sheets,
I'm-
none of that.
sorry.
No Google Sheet, none of that.
No. No.
Yeah, I think we're
Awesome.
overthinking this business with the reviews. I think we're overthinking it. Just
I
because
think so
like
too.
just like High Level, right? I have an agency account with High Level, and just because it has all of these features, you think you have to use them. And sometimes the simplest answer is the simplest process. We don't need to all, if we create a contact, send them a message. Like it's almost like we overcomplicate it and we
Yep.
kind of take ourselves away from converting.
So my question, once I've started the conversation, do you collect any data? Do you collect any customer data? Yes, no, maybe. No, we don't. Okay, fine. We just need these and QR codes.
Mm-hmm. Simple.
Are you collecting data? How are you collecting the data? Right? Would you like to automate it? Then that's an upsell to our automated packs. It's a simple question. Are you collecting data or not? Most restaurants don't collect any data.
No.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to upsell them, you could easily upsell them to go, okay, well, look, if you wanted our automate pack where we could grow your marketing list, well, let's talk, and you can design whatever package you want around that. You could be from $500 a year to $900 a year, and all you're doing is okay, do a Google sheet.
Wayne, so let me ask you. So you're familiar with Go High Level.
Yep.
So what if you do a situation where you kind of do a hybrid version, right? Where you make your own page, landing page with the 5 stars, and then in Go High Level, you can easily connect to the person's Google account, right? So you really wouldn't need.
So what I did there.
Climbo.
So what? No, yeah. Again, it won't do the filtering, the 3 stars and below. First problem. So what I've done in Go High Level for one of our restaurant clients, who's a dear friend of mine, I set up a QR code with join out, become a VIP of Tide, scan here. Right. So that takes them to a Google form, or actually it's a Go High Level form. Put their name and email, phone number in, or whatever data we want, but name and email. Put their name and email, press go. 3 hours later, they get a request automated from Climbo to give them a review, and that data pushes through to MailerLite, which is like MailChimp.
Okay.
And in High Level, can't you only
pay me $100 a month.
With High Level, can't you only do Google and Facebook for reviews?
No, I'm not using Go High Level for reviews at all.
No, he was talking about High Level prior to you talking.
But it won't filter. Does that make sense?
No, I get that, and I like the filtering.
What I'm referring to more is using Go High Level to connect to the Google account to respond to the reviews. Right. So
we've got that within Climbo.
Yeah.
I just don't trust it. That's the point. I don't trust it.
What don't you trust about it?
I don't know. I mean, just I don't know. I've had it for a couple of years. I just don't trust. I don't know. I'm just really reluctant to build my business around that. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to say nothing negative, but
I have felt that way too, but mostly it's because other people are bitching in that room. It has nothing to do with the actual software. I'm just tired. I got like yesterday, I'm like, I'm so sick of this bitching. What's the problem, people? Like seriously.
The software
really takes
works.
Me off.
The software works. It works well. Climbo is not going anywhere. I can tell you that. They're pretty well funded. They're not going anywhere. The software does what it's designed to do, and it does it really, really well.
Okay.
I think part of the problem, George, you're running into is there are people in that group who are there to sell other software. They're there to try to talk people out of using Climbo and to sell them a different one. And I know which one it is, but I'm not going to say. But that's what's going on in there.
Look, I'm not going. Look, I've moved one company to So we moved from one bot ready reviews across to
I
client.
know, exactly.
That transition for me was dead simple because I've got massive trust with my clients. So if I had to move again, I would find a new home and just migrate again. And just say we've done a massive update on the software,
Mhm.
right? Again, people way overthink this. They way overcomplicate it, right? The software does it as designed to do. If you're not talking to business owners about the simplicity of it, you're missing the point.
Okay.
I love
Uh,
the app. I love, love, love the app. I think it looks great and it works really well.
all right. So last question on that. Have you ever had anybody where they did the self-manage, where they managed all of that for the client? And like you said before, like clients don't log in. They're too busy.
Yeah, look,
They're, you know,
I do some of that for certain
okay.
clients. So one client of mine, they weren't worried about reviews. They get a lot of reviews. We put like one NFC stand in. And they said, but Wayne, we're really, really bad at responding to reviews. So I said, look, for that fee, we'll log in once a week and respond to your reviews.
Hmm.
I do it at coffee in the morning. Like literally, I
Hmm.
can log in on my phone to the app because it's all mobile enabled and just go, yep, there's a review, reply, done. Having my coffee,
Right.
right? And it's an upsell. If you want us to respond to your reviews, we can do that for this much more.
I like that. I like that. I noticed you charge like 500, $600 a year. Why not do a monthly reoccurring so you have reoccurring income?
I like the lumps.
I don't like lumps. I spend lumps. I spend lump
So,
sums.
next week we're getting about 4.5, 5 grand in because of the work I did last year.
Yeah.
So, but
But
now,
the reoccurring pays bills, man. That's
yeah,
nice to have,
but
you
I've
know.
got all my other clients at $199 a month and $299 a month recurring.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a mixed bag. So
Mm.
I think I've got one of my restaurant clients on monthly.
Do they pay? Or have you seen like restaurant people? Do they pay? Do they have a problem with payment?
No, because I get their credit card. Actually, the one who's on monthly does direct debit, and they've been fine.
Okay.
But I always get a card. I run all my billing through Go High Level through Stripe.
Yeah. 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 I like that.
So I did a screenshot up there couple of about a month ago of my Go High Level. Give me a look, and this is the Go High Level here is primarily only the reviews. So we're doing about 135,000 annually for reviews. And that's just a review software.
Wow.
So it's 130, right as we sit right now, there's 4,800 outstanding. There are a couple of bigger clients that are overdue. So, and in received invoices in the last 12 months, $33,000 and 94 cents. 133,000, sorry.
Hey, Wayne, can we do this? Because I feel like a lot of people are in the same boat as me. Can we like either come up with a fee or something to pay you to hop on like a Zoom where you just kind of do Climbo A to Z with a
I've
small
got
group of people?
I've got that. It's called a fast start. That's there's two fast starts. They're in school. One fast starts in school. That's $300 US for 2.5 hours one-on-one.
Okay.
And there's a $99 one, which is like an hour call.
Okay. So you have them in the Climbo group?
What the 2.5 hour ones in there, if you go to the right hand of school, right hand side, there's the members who's there, and underneath that there's a little link saying roadmap, another one saying fast start.
Okay. And that's a 3 hour already pre-recorded?
No, that's one-on-one live with me. We're just working with me. So we break it up to 3 sessions. So we do
Okay.
an hour first, and then we rebook the second hour after that one, going, okay, we'll give you a couple of days to do all that. Then we'll meet back and do it and go over what we did and what we need to do next. And then the last one we do a debrief. Okay, where have we gone? What have we implemented? What do we need to work on next?
Okay. I think I need to do that.
Yep, that's in there, mate. That goes to my calendar, and you can book that. And yeah, we're happy to do that. And then, but also monthly, we're going to do these sessions with. They are open source, so if we want to talk like we did today about anything, we can, because it's a community. It's not just me. I'm here to share my knowledge and what I've done and what's worked for me, and answer your questions. But you guys have all contributed today as well, and Michael especially. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.
But then think about the meetings. You can always put it in the new community area. You can always type a question in there as well, and I'll get back to you there. But if you start bitching in that group, you're booted. So. So, all good, guys. Any other final questions before we wrap this first annual meeting up, or first meeting up?
No, I think if I have any questions in the future, I'll be sure to write them down and prepare them ahead of time.
Yeah, fine. You can always ping them in the private portal too. That's fine. Because you guys are paying for my services as well, so it's this stuff for this, and we're going to share everything I can in that portal.
I appreciate it, Wayne. Thank you very much.
No, all good, guys. Well, I'm going to love you and leave it. I've got another Zoom to jump onto now.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
Thanks for
thank
taking the time out. This
Take care.
recording will be posted.
Thanks, everybody.
Finishes, and watch out. Keep your eye out in the group for notifications.
Sounds great. Thank you.
But it's the same bat time, same bat channel, same Zoom every month.
Perfect.
First Wednesday of every month.
Excellent.
All good. And happy Independence Day to you guys coming up soon too.
Thank you.
All good. Have a good one. See you guys.
Bye.